Hi, I'm David, and today I want to share you a nice feature that I implement for my side project using the Notion MCP. So yeah, just first a quick summary of what's Synapse. And Synapse basically it's a chat UI that enables you to allow you to chat with LLMs. But the catch here it's not only a simple chat as you could find in ChatGPT, Gemini. Synapse will build a knowledge graph based on all your conversations, and it will use this context for every conversation and any new message. So it basically builds a graph of your life or every aspect of your conversations, and they use this as a context. So pretty much it feels like the agent knows you and it's able to connect different scenarios, different concepts, and that's the power of graphs. So that's great. If you could see this UI, it's really awesome, beautiful. But here's where Notion solve a problem. Since for an actual user or this UI, it's really not something you can use and you can understand. Navigate big graphs, it's for a human, it's really hard, and especially with a lot of connections. So for a machine, it's great. It could use this to create awesome connection and insights, but not for a human. It's easy, it's hard to explore. So this UI, even though it's here, it pretty much feels like a black box. So you will start using your chat, it will know you and it will remember everything that it's stored in the graph, but it won't be something you can see. So here I built a Notion integration that will allow you to turn this graph into something you can use, explore more human-friendly and with better tools in Notion. So here I have for the demo a empty page, and the integration will basically ex- export, analyze the whole graph, and start running a pipeline. So here it's the magic. These will understand the whole graph, each node, each concept, and it will design a structure, a database structure, multiple database structure that fit your content. So there is no a fixed template where you can have all the export in a rigid structure. It will propose or create the categories that better fit your data. And then it will create different entries that represent each concept, each situation, everything, every knowledge that is built into the graph will be put inside Notion. So this will allow you to explore the actual knowledge that Synapse built for you over time. And it will be also have a mechanism to update and fix things that could be misinterpreted by the agent or something that changed that you haven't talked yet. You can go through Notion and explore. We can see this later. Just to give you a hint of how it's built. So for example, here I have an actual trace of how this full pipeline works behind the scenes. So as you can see, there are multiple stages where we use the Notion MCP direct calls to Gemini API, that is the LLM that I mostly use for the backend. And it will extract different aspects of categories that it will find in the data. And after that, it will use Notion SDK and to create the actual database into the Notion page that I have permissions through the token, and then it will populate dynamically each row. So a good thing of using database is not only a plain text, it also gives you structure, create tags, uh, structure, format different fields across different schema. So in this case, it will be a correct schema that matches data and give you perfect information. So here you can see that we can start getting data here. The pipeline is not over yet. They start extracting the entities, but here we can see that we are connecting with Notion. So this process usually takes, based on the graph, will take a couple of minutes. So it runs async. So we just can wait a couple of minutes more to see what's the actual result. So once they create all the databases, we can start seeing that we still have a database here. It's empty for now, but we can see that it start populating and adding different records. And this schema, it's always different for each user because it's created not from a template, it's created from the actual data. So that's a really good thing that has to use MCPs and agents because you can personalize the structure and the integration, whatever is needed for the specific user. So here we can see that we are almost done with the integration, but we can start using this. So here it creates different databases based on the structure. In this case, something is really specific for this user. And the information use current status. It will have the explanation of each element. And this is a cool part. It's not only export that you have, it's interactive. So there is here two special columns that allow you to fix information or add corrections. So for example, if I could say, okay, I have this Rodrigo here that it's a relationship that I have why this relationship is important and what is related with the actual user. But I could use here to say, for example, Rodrigo is no longer my friend. And I could set different correction nodes for each different rows, even across different elements. For example, here in projects and elements, I could see different things, and every database will have these two columns: the needs review and correction notes. I think, well, yeah, it's done. So, for example, here it's a really cool structure, but let's say we want to continue with this correction. I made this correction. I want to this be integrated in the knowledge graph. And here is where we could see this other call to action that it's sync corrections. So this is the second phase of the integration that will scan the whole database that were created before, and it will find which row needs correction. So it will find the row, the actual correction, and with the context, and it will do two things. First, it will update the actual graph. So it will apply the correction to the specific node that are related with the information that was part of the row in the database, but also it will update the database. So it will take this information and it will update the description, it could update the status, or it could, for example, remove the row right away. This is part of the Node MCP. For example, here, the agent that use the Notion MCP has the intelligence and the autonomy to decide which action is better based on the kind of correction. So it will always update the graph, but it will also update the Notion database. So it will take couple of minutes here to actually update the database, the graph, and the row. So here we can see that the needs review is gone, and the correction could be applied here into the description. So yeah, that's basically the whole integration. And now this black box of the graph has a better UI for the user to explore. Thank you.